Hey guys, this is Mr. Grice for Algebra 1 Unit 2 Review Booklet. Today we're going to be talking about the Graphing Linear Equations Review Booklet that we made in class today. So mine's just a little bit out of order, so we're going to be flipping back and forth between the different pages as we go along. So hopefully yours is in order and we're good to go. So the first one that we had to do is page number 2. It says identify the domain and range of the relation, then explain whether or not the relation is a function. So you guys had to plot these points from just Ms. Carranza had the information up on the board. So this should have been your point, -7, 0. Then we have -2, 4. We have 3, -7, 3, 1, and let's see, that was 8, 5. Okay. So when we're talking about the domain, we're talking about all of the x's, okay? So when we put these in order, we have -7, -2. There are two number 3s, so you don't have to repeat it. And then 8. Your range is all of your y's. So when we write those in order, you should have -7, 0, 1, 4, and 5. Okay? Now, is this a function, yes or no? The correct answer for this is no. And the reason, because we talked about having the vertical line test, okay? It fails the vertical line test. Or the other thing you can say is 2 points are above each other, okay? And that was another reason that it fails, okay? All right, let's look at number 2. Use the graph below to answer the following questions. Plot a point in quadrant 4 and label it X. You can pick whatever point you want to. There's my point. And that was at 5, -5. Oh, I'm sorry. Wrong one. X is 5, -5. Now it says to draw a positive slope that passes through point X and 2 other points. Label them Y and Z. So my 2 other points, I'm going to put Y, I'll make sure I put in the right, or Z goes right here. So there's my Z, and Z was 8, -1. And then my X, oh, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. My Y is at 2, -9. So now that I've got those 3 points, I can draw the line. And make sure that it's a positive line, which means it's going up. And my slope is positive, and to figure it out, I go from 1 point, I go up 4, and to the right 3. So we've got 4/3. All right, there's page 2. Let's move on to page 3. Oh, that's not page 3. Are you page 3? There we go. Graphing by using a table of values. So what we need to do is look at our fraction right there, and that tells us what we should be counting by. Okay, so we need to count the 2's. -2, -4. And when we're plugging this in, we should get all of our answers. So I'm going to pause the video, or you guys should pause the video, and see if you can fill in those points all by yourself. Good luck. Okay, there are all the points. And now I'm going to go through and graph it. Okay, so there are our points. And now I'm getting my ruler, making sure it goes through all of the necessary points. And remember that when we draw this, we've got to go all the way through. And there you go. All right, number 4. Same thing. We got a graph. And what we would normally do is go 0, 1, 2, -1, -2. However, when you plug in 2 into this graph, hold on, 4 times 2 plus 3, we get a point that's off of that. So what for this one's kind of a special case. We're going to go -1, -2, -3. Okay? So for this one, I want you to pause the video. Once again, you're just plugging in to the equation and then graph. Okay? Go ahead and pause the video. Good luck. There you go. And that's the line that you should get. Okay? All right. Let's move to page 4. Graphing using slope-intercept. Now, remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, where the m stands for your slope, and the b stands for y-intercept, and we always write that as the point, 0b. Okay? All right, so for number 11, my slope, my movement is 2 over 3, and my y-intercept is 0, -4. And remember, I'm just stealing that information. That's where we get it from. Okay? So 0, -4 is where we begin. That's why it's called the B. And then I follow the M, which is my movement. Up 2, right 3, up 2, right 3, up 2, right 3, and do a couple in each direction, just because we gotta graph it the entire way anyways. Okay? So now that I've got my line, I'm gonna go ahead and draw it with my straight edge. Okay, number 12. Your your slope is 5, and I'm going to write that as a fraction. It's 5 over 1. And the b is 0, -9. So guys, go ahead and pause the video and see if you can graph this one all on your own. Good luck. Okay, and there you go. All right, let's look at the bottom part. Now for this one, it's saying to write each equation in slope-intercept form. So the first thing I got to do is make it look like that. However, our y is not by itself. Okay, so to do that, there's our y. Hi, y. Let's get you all alone. So we're going to minus 6x to both sides. And you get negative 2y equals negative 6x plus 12. Do not forget about your negatives, okay? And to get that y all by itself, we have to divide by -2. And we're left with y equals 3x minus 6, okay? And now the same as before, I want to know what my slope is, which is 3 over 1, and the b is 0, -6, okay? And then with that information, we would graph it. 0, -6 is where I start, and then I go up 3 over 1. up 3 over 1. It's a positive slope, so I know I need to go up first to make sure that it's rising. And I want a couple in each direction. I have to go the entire length of the graph with my line, so that's why I do the same thing with my points. And then I draw it. Okay? Now, if you think you can do this one all on your own, just pause the video. Everybody else, let's go ahead and do this. So we want to get rid of the x, and then we get y equals negative 3x plus 6. Now, I want you to pause the video and graph it all on your own, okay? Make sure before you graph, write down what the slope is and what the y-intercept is, okay? Before you get started. All right, pause the video and good luck. Okay, and that's what you should have gotten. Sorry guys, that was all page 6. All these booklets, it's getting me kind of confused. Sorry about that. Hopefully you were able to catch up with me. All right, let's go to page 4. Sorry. All right, graphing horizontal and vertical lines. Now, we talked about doing this a couple of ways. One way we said is to do a mini table and take a look. Well, y is 8, 8, 8. Do 1, 0, negative, up, and positive, and you can graph your points. Be like, all right, so negative 2, 8 is right there, 0, 8 is right there, and 2, 8. And then you can tell, like, oh, Mr. Grice, that's a horizontal line. And you might be able to do that right away, okay? Some of you guys could have memorized it and been like, hey, you know what? X, this is going to be a, oh, not horizontal, vertical line. So you can go right to negative 3, which is right here, and then draw your vertical line. Both ways get you the right answer, okay? So however you want to do it, do it. Now, when we're doing ones like this where you have to write the equation, I always write down which one's x and which one's y, and I notice that it's crossing the y-axis. So I know that it's going to be a y equals graph. We should also know it's going to be a y equals because it's horizontal, okay? And it's horizontal at y equals negative 6. Okay? Same with our next one. There's your y, there's my x. It crosses the x, so it's an x equals, and it's at positive 6. And know that this is a vertical line. Okay, page 5. Graphing using the intercepts. When we're doing this, we want to do 2 problems. One, you're going to plug in a 0 for y, and another is 0 for x, okay? That crosses off, and you're left with x equaling 9. So we've got a point 9, 0. And now when we do our second one, we get 3y equals 9. Divide both sides by 3. And we get y equals 3. Okay, just hold on 1 second. Okay, so we said that y equals 3. So our point 0, 3. The next part that you would have to do is you need to graph 9, 0. Oh, that's negative. And 0, 3. Now that we've got those 2 points, we can draw our line. Okay, so using your straight edge, you can draw your line. Okay, now why don't you guys try number 9 all on your own? Go ahead and pause the video and good luck. Okay, now those are your 2 points, and I'm going to go ahead and graph those. I got 3, 0, and 0, negative 9. And now that I've got those, I'm going to draw my line. And there you go. So that was page 5. Now, page 6 was the one that we already did over here. Once again, I'm sorry that I confused you guys. And now the last thing we have to do is page number 7, calculating slope and Y-intercept. Okay, I gotta find mine. There it is. Now, key thing, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you can kind of see the little points like that. All right, so before I even get started with trying to figure out what I need to do, I'm going to write that down every single time, okay? So I've got a -1 and a 3, and then on the bottom, I have 6 and -2. On the top, -1 minus 3 is -4. 6 minus -2 is actually +8. Okay, and the last step we would need to do is to reduce that. And we would reduce it by dividing both sides by 4. Okay? I'll do one more together with you guys. So I'm automatically writing that down. -3 and -3 on the top. 7 minus 2 on the bottom. -3 minus -3 is actually 0. And 7 minus 2 is 5. And remember, we don't leave our answer like that. 0 divided by 5 is 0. Okay? All right, number 17. And 18. Okay, you guys are on your own for those 2. Go ahead and pause the video, and good luck. Okay, and there you go. Now, number 17, your answer is not 4 over 0. Your answer is undefined. You cannot divide by 0. You get an error. And then number 18, -8 minus -4 is -4 because you do click, click, and you're adding. 2 minus 5. Oh, I'm sorry, 2 minus 5. Why did I write 2 minus? Mr. Grice needs to wake up. I'm sorry about that. 2 minus 5 is -3. Whoop. And see how a simple error like that changes everything. Oh, now we can't read it. Okay. A negative divided by negative is a positive, and it's 4/3. Okay. Now, for number 19, 20, let's just do these together. Okay. What they want you to do is to count the slope. It's your rise for this one. It's rise over run. And then we go up 2 over 1. So our slope is 2. Okay, you could also say 2 over 1. Either one, it doesn't matter. Okay, our next one, this is going to be fall over run because it's going down. We went down 1 to the right 3. So my slope is -1/3. Okay. And for 21 and 22, these are special cases. You need to know right away that this is a vertical line, and a vertical line has an undefined slope. Okay. In 22, 22 is horizontal. The slope of a horizontal line is m equals what? Does anyone know? Well, it's m equals 0. Sorry guys, my pen is kind of being uncooperative. Okay, so you should have m equals 0. Okay, or if you want to just write it out, you can write it out too. Okay, well that's it for Algebra 1, Unit 2 Review Booklet, the Graphing Linear Equations. If you need any assistance, please come see Ms. Carranza or myself. Otherwise, this is Mr. Grice. Mr. Grice, thanks for watching.